YouTube, it is Sunday Showdown, and basically I'm going to talk about the NFL free agency and also specifically the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys screw up by not taking Lamar Miller, and how the Houston Texans, by taking Osweiler and Lamar Miller, had a trickle effect and is going to screw the Dallas Cowboys. So should the Dallas Cowboys have taken Lamar Miller? Did they make a mistake by not grabbing Lamar Miller? The answer is yes, and I'll tell you why. But basically first, you should check out my video where I talk about Lamar Miller and I compare him to DeMarco Murray. And I break down their stats, their mileage, how many touches they've had, their age, their combine, the 40-yard dash, I break everything down for you in that video, so you can watch that video down below. But let's get right to it. The Dallas Cowboys, yes, they did make a mistake by not taking Lamar Miller. So Lamar Miller signs with the Houston Texans for a 4-year deal worth $24 million. That is roughly $6.5 million per year. Lamar Miller only got $14 million guaranteed. Let's compare that to DeMarco Murray. When DeMarco Murray was leaving Dallas to Philadelphia, remember that drama episode? Basically, Dallas Cowboys offered, guess how much they offered DeMarco Murray? $6.5 million. Same thing Lamar Miller just got paid. DeMarco Murray's contract was $21 million guaranteed. Lamar Miller's $14 million guaranteed. That means that's a 33% difference. $21 million, $14 million of guaranteed money. Number one, why the Dallas Cowboys should have signed Lamar Miller. Now, everybody's saying, well, the Dallas Cowboys have the number 4 pick. They could take Ezekiel from Ohio State University or Joey Bosa, the defensive end from Ohio State, who maybe can drop back and play a little bit of linebacker. I'll tell you why those are mistakes too, because here's the reason why. Number one, if you pick Ezekiel at number 4, huge mistake, and this is why you should pick Lamar Miller. Let's compare last year's draft class. Todd Gurley was the first running back picked off the board. He was 10th overall. Todd Gurley's contract over 4 years was roughly worth $13.8 million. That's about $3.5 million per year. That's at the number 10 spot. Amari Cooper, picked 4th by the Oakland Raiders. His contract, $22 million. Average, slightly over $5.5 million per year. And that is all guaranteed, by the way. Most of that is all guaranteed. Versus the number 10 spot, which is it was $13.8 million. So over $22 million or $13.8 million. That's the difference between the 4th and 10th spot. So the Dallas Cowboys were to take Ezekiel at number 4, they'd be approximately paying Ezekiel $5.5 million, all guaranteed. All $22 million, basically guaranteed. Ask the Browns how they feel about Johnny Manziel right now. Or the Redskins how they feel about holding on to RG3 and not being able to trade him because his salary was guaranteed. Ask them how they feel. That's what you get when you pick that high at number 4. All that money is basically guaranteed. So basically, Lamar Miller, $6.5 million, and you know he can play at the NFL level. He's in the prime of his career. He's going to be 25 years old. And when you compare Lamar Miller to DeMarco Murray, Lamar Miller had 1,189 touches. DeMarco Murray, in his pro career and collegiate career, 2,035 touches, guys. That's almost double. DeMarco Murray almost has double the touches than Lamar Miller. So, and here's the thing. You pick Ezekiel at number 4, you're going to pay him $5.5 million. Versus what Lamar Miller got was $6.5 million. And you know Lamar Miller can play at the pro level. He played behind a Miami Dolphins offensive line who got Ryan Tannehill in the top 5 in sacks since Ryan Tannehill has been in the league. That's how crappy that offensive line is. Lamar Miller behind the Dallas Cowboys offensive line for $6.5 million, only $14 guaranteed, versus an Ezekiel who you don't know if he's going to play at how he's going to play at the NFL level. Plus, you actually have to spend the first round pick. Or if you pick Lamar Miller, you don't spend a first round pick on him, and you could go after a guy like Joey Bosa, which you shouldn't do anyway. But here's the thing. That's what I'm trying to tell you. The Dallas Cowboys, the Houston Texans really had a trickle effect on the Dallas Cowboys. But shame on the Dallas Cowboys for not taking Lamar Miller. Because Lamar Miller was talking to the Cowboys and he was talking to the Houston Texans. And that's one of the reasons. So if you compare the salary, that's the huge reasons. Now, let's talk about what the Cowboys did do. They got a defensive tackle, Cedric Thornton. Okay, he signs a 4-year deal for roughly $17 million. There's $18 million that he can earn. That was a good signing. But here's a mistake that they didn't do is Lamar Miller. I'm going to hammer that into the heads because basically you had a guy that was, you know what he can do at the NFL level, and you don't know what Ezekiel can do. And if you pick a guy at number 4, you have to pay him $5.5 million. It's only a $1 million difference in salary per season than Lamar Miller would have had. Plus, you have to spend the first-round pick. So the Dallas Cowboys could have saved themselves a first-round pick or a second-round pick. Because remember, guys, you can take a guy in the second, third, fourth, fifth round, but for every DeMarco Murray, who was picked in the 3rd round, for every David Johnson, the running back for the Arizona Cardinals, there's also a Rashard Mendenhall. Remember him by the Pittsburgh Steelers? A first-round pick. For every Matt Forte, there's a Cedric Benson. You see, for every good running back, for every Chris Johnson, who only had a couple good years anyway, there's basically every running back that the Lions have drafted in the 1st, 2nd, 3rd round since Barry Sanders. So there's no guarantee what Ezekiel can or cannot do at the NFL level. There's no guarantee. Rashard Mendenhall looked like a beast at the collegiate level, and then he got to the NFL and he just fell off. So basically that's what I'm trying to tell you, is that that's where the Dallas Cowboys did screw up in free agency. Joey Bosa. Why they shouldn't take Joey Bosa. It's going to be a huge mistake. And when you look at the numbers, guys, picking a guy at number 4 is costly if you're going to take a running back at number 4. That's why the Dallas Cowboys should not take him. I just gave you the difference between Todd Gurley and basically Ezekiel. And Todd Gurley was one heck of a pick. The Rams got that one right. But you don't want to take Joey Bosa because here's the reason why. Joey Bosa, when they're saying basically he needs another guy opposite to play him, he's not a pure pass rusher. Basically, he can't do it by himself. He can't take on double teams at the collegiate level. He doesn't look like that. He doesn't have the same power, the same motor to do that. Unfortunately, the Dallas Cowboys don't have a system where they have DeMarcus Ware anymore. They don't have another guy that can take the pressure off Joey Bosa. Think about a guy named Paul Kruger that plays for the Cleveland Browns that formerly played for the Baltimore Ravens. Kruger played brilliant for the Ravens, signed a huge contract with the Browns. Now he stinks with the Browns. Why? He doesn't have anybody good playing opposite of him. I liken that to Joey Bosa, and what everybody's saying about Joey Bosa is that he's not going to be able to, he needs another guy. And unfortunately, the Dallas Cowboys signed Gregory last year, drafted Gregory, and he hasn't done nothing. He hasn't done anything at the NFL level. And Greg Hardy, the Dallas Cowboys are probably not going to bring him back, but he's very productive. Greg Hardy was very productive in playing with a beat-up defense. What I'm trying to say, guys, is that Joey Bosa does not make sense at number 4, and Joey Bosa is not going to fall down to number 10. He'd be perfect for the Baltimore Ravens at number 6, where basically they have the structure for a Joey Bosa to not take on double teams. The Dallas Cowboys don't have that structure right for Joey Bosa. He'd be a wasted pick, or they would certainly need to do something in the offseason to really render that. And taking Ezekiel at number 4, I just gave you all the stats. Would be a huge mistake to take Ezekiel at number 4. Huge, huge mistake, considering Todd Gurley at the number 10th pick, again, made $13.8 million, $3.5 million per season. Amari Cooper, over $5.5 million per season at the number 4 spot. That's what you're paying them. If they're going to take Ezekiel at number 4, they should have taken a Lamar Miller as a free agent, spent 0 first-round picks, and then spent that first-round pick to either trade back, or you want to take a chance on Joey Bosa, you get them both. That's what they should have done, and that's the reason why I believe the Dallas Cowboys screwed up more than anything. So that is it. The trickle effect of the Houston Texans affecting their partner, the Dallas Cowboys. And that is my free agent take of the week. Lamar Miller. Everybody's talking about Osweiler. I am talking about Lamar Miller. And for fantasy football, people, anybody running behind the Houston Texans offensive line has done good. Arian Foster, Ben Tate did really good. Remember a couple years ago in fantasy football, Ben Tate did really good. And then there's even some signs of life out of Alfred Blue. Alfred Blue was a former special teams player, by the way. So, Lamar Miller for fantasy football, thumbs up. The Houston Texans, thumbs up. The Dallas Cowboys, right now, thumbs down. There you go. That's my Sunday shakedown, even though this might be posted on Monday. And hey, don't hate the beard. This might be my last video I make with a beard. Thanks.